Okay. Uh, sorry for the surprise broadcast. 깜짝 방송해서 죄송합니다. Uh, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas to all the people watching. 다들 우리 구독자들 크리스마스 잘 보내세요. So we're gonna be looking at another Solana project today. 오늘 방송이 이제 Solana DeFi project 하나 커버하고 싶으니까 방송하는데 it's called Delta One. 예, 이름이 Delta One이고 그냥 잠깐 나중에 이 Delta One 개발자 팀이 이 방송 나중에 볼 것 같아서 그냥 잠깐 그 Delta One 개발팀한테 말씀 하나 전달해 줄게요, 영어로. So I'm just going to quickly send a shout out in English to the Delta One dev team. I don't know if you guys will ever watch this, but I wanted to send you guys a shout out. And the reason that I'm covering you guys is I did go back to one of my old tweets during Ignition, and I tweeted this out a long time ago. And so I'm showing you on the screen what I tweeted, and I wanted to see what kinds of DeFi protocols were going to come out of Ignition, and I tweeted this, and I looked down here, and I totally forgot about your reply. So I do apologize. You guys were the only ones who took the time to reply, and and I appreciate that a lot, right? So I'll be covering you guys. I did do a little bit of research into you guys, and I'll be relaying what I saw, right? What I researched about you guys to this to the Korean to the to the Korean community, to the Korean Solana community, to the Koreans who are interested in Solana DeFi and investing in Solana projects, right? So my channel focuses especially it's the focus is on Solana DeFi protocols and investment opportunities, and that's what I like to show my subscribers. So um, I'll be covering you guys, and I'll be doing the broad. I do my broadcasts in English and Korean. I do a live translate, so I'll be doing it in Korean and English. So if the Delta One devs are wondering what I'm telling my Korean subscribers, I always do a live translate, so you'll be able to keep up with my Korean as well. I'll be explaining you guys to my Korean investors, right? So again, I appreciate it a lot. You guys were the only ones to do this for me. I'm probably the first person on YouTube who's covering you guys in depth like this, so I'm returning the favor. I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope you guys kill it, right? Hope you guys do really well, right? I really appreciate this, right? All right, so let's get started. 시작하겠습니다. 한국인들이 무슨 말씀했는지 제가 얘네들 개발팀한테 무슨 말씀 했는지 궁금하면 제가 이제 Ignition hackathon에 마지막 hackathon에 제가 attention Ignition DeFi contestants building a killer app and you want the earliest possible exposure to Korean investors, introduce yourselves here, right? 제가 옛날에 이 Ignition hackathon 진행 중에 제가 이거 트윗 하나 했어요. 어, 이 ignition 그 개발자들이 여기 프로젝트들이 이제 다 나오면서 발표하면서 제가 이제 커버해 주고 싶었어요. 저희 채널에 Souls Got Soul에 제가 이제 그 어떤 프로토콜들이 나오는지 그런 거에 이제 같이 공부하고 싶어서 방송하면서 그래서 제가 이 트윗 했는데 웃기게 진짜 웃기게 이 ignition hackathon 프로젝트들 중에 얘네들 하나만 얘네 델타 1 하나만 대답했어요. So I think this guy's a dev from Delta. Actually, I should follow. I'm already following this guy. 이미 제가 follow하고 있어. 아무튼 얘네들만 했어서 제가 이제 그 같이 공부하는 거예요, 라이브 방송에. 그래서 제가 여기 다 공부했고 여기 홈페이지 다 가 봤고 여기도 한번 실험해 봤고 이건 이제 100%는 실험 못 했는데 이유는 나중에 알려줄게요. So um, I was able to kind of tinker around, but I wasn't actually able to play around with the protocol because I'm waitlisted right now. So 지금 웨이트리스트 중이니까 지금 라이브 방송에는 여기 실제로 사용 못 하는데 나중에 이제 될 때 아마 제가 한 번 더 이제 방송 할 거예요 아마도. 그래서 여기 그 그 미디엄 여기 기사도 다 봤고 so I did take a look at all this stuff here, so I'll be covering all this stuff during the broadcast, right? And this is not the normal time. This is not I haven't broadcasted in the morning in a very long time. 아침에 지금 한국 시간. So for the foreigners who are watching, I don't usually broadcast in the morning. It's in Korea, it's Christmas morning. This is this is how I'm spending Christmas morning, covering Delta One on my channel because I'm that passionate about Solana DeFi. There's no one out there who's as crazy about Solana DeFi as I am, right? But this is what I love to do. 전 Solana 너무 사랑하니까 크리스마스 아침에 일찍 일어나서 이렇게 이제 방송하면서 같이 공부할 거예요, 우리 구독자들이랑, right? So along with my subscribers, I'll be showing you guys what I researched about this protocol. And I would love to hear the feedback from my subscribers or the people who are watching. 물론 우리 구독자들 뭐 궁금한 거 있으면 저한테 꼭 질문하세요. 물어보세요. Right? So I'm not 100%, I'm not like a perfect analyst, right? 물론 뭐 저희 분석도 뭐 100% 완벽하지도 않으니까 뭐 서로 뭐 같이 배우는 거니까. So I'm very excited for this. So we'll take a look at this, right? So let's go over the basic concept. 기본 개념부터 볼게요. So they're called Delta One. 여기 이름이 Delta One이고 여기 Delta One is a 100% backed reserve currency. 그래서 이거 한국말로 해석하면 이거 준비 통화예요. 한마디로. 그래서 이 준비 통화 있고 이 Delta One 준비 통화에 Delta Neutral Yield Farming Strategies가 있습니다. 이거 델타 중립 그 이자 농사 그 전략이 있어요. 그래서 이 Delta Neutral Yield Farming Strategies 하면서 이 유리한 점 하나가 있어. So there's an advantage. I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you're in English, if you watch this video in English, you're already pretty knowledgeable about DeFi. So I'm just going to explain the basic concept to my Korean subscribers. 이 한국인 투자자들 위해 이거 그냥 간단히 설명해 줄게요. 이 뜻은 델타 중립 뜻이 이거 변동 그 무시 이거 변동 그 사용 소용이 없어. 뭐 가격이 올라가도 가격이 내려가도 돈 벌 수 있다고 그 뜻이에요, 한마디로. 그래서 되게 유리한 그 전략이긴 해요. 유리하긴 유리해요. 근데 뭐 이런 것도 완벽하지도 않아요. 완벽하지도 않아요. It's not still not like 100% guaranteed safe, but it is pretty much like 99%. It is a very safe strategy. 되게 안전한 전략입니다, 한마디로. So this is why people are going to be looking at these kinds of strategies. it's Solana DeFi 이제 하고 싶은 사람들이 이런 거 이제 관심 많을 거예요. So the people who don't want to take on risk when they're doing DeFi, right? 이제 risk 싫어하는 사람들은 이런 거 관심이 많을 거예요. People like me, right? 저희 같은 경우는 risk 있으면 저는 조금 불안하니까 물론 이런 프로토콜 조금 지켜보고 있을 거예요. So obviously people like me who are kind of risk averse, we're going to be paying attention to protocols like this, right? So that's the basic concept. You got basic 기본 개념입니다. 기본 개념. So there are actually, believe it or not, this is a crazy thing about Solana, right? 이거 우리 구독자들이 잘 모르지만 Solana DeFi 프로토콜들이 이미 경쟁자 있긴 있어요. 경쟁자 있긴 있어. So believe it or not, there are already competing protocols in this space too, right? When it comes to delta neutral strategies, or I guess I'll call these delta neutral automated strategies, there are even competitors to Delta One, and that's how crazy the competition is. 이 경쟁이 엄청 심해요. 경쟁이 엄청 심해요. So to the best of my knowledge, 이제 제가 알고 있는 건 이 Delta One 그 경쟁자 하나 있긴 있어. So there, to the best of my knowledge, there actually is a competitor to Delta One, and a lot of people kind of already know this protocol. 이제 사람들이 이 프로토콜 되게 많이 알아. It's called Frankium. So Frankium, they're doing some sort of similar strategy on their protocol, right? 이 프랭키엠도 이거 델타 중립 전략 같은 거 비슷한 거 있긴 있어요. But the difference is 이 차이가, this is called a pseudo delta neutral strategy. So the people who were following my broadcast, I did take a look at this during that massive market dump, like for like last week. 지난주 I guess it was like for the past 2 weeks, right? 한 2주 동안 그 약세에 이제 가격이 심각하게 이제 폭락될 때 여기 전략이 마이너스 막 50% 60%였어. So for the people who've been following my broadcast, I did take a look at how well these strategies were working during the crash, right? And that's the kind of stuff you got to look at when you're evaluating these kinds of delta neutral strategies to see how well they actually work when you have like a crash, right? That's why I went over this during the live broadcast during the crash. And this APR went minus, it went to like minus 50 and 60%. So obviously, I don't know how this team was coding this strategy, right? 물론 여기 프랭킴 팀이 이거 delta neutral이라고 표시돼 있지만 obviously it says delta neutral here, right? But during the crash, this thing went massively negative. It went like minus 50 to 60%, right? So there again, I've already said this about Delta One like 5 minutes ago. I told my Korean subscribers it's not 100% safe. It's like 99% safe, right? There's always going to be a little bit of risk involved even when you're doing some kind of delta neutral strategy, right? 물론 또다시 말씀할게요. delta neutral 이게 델타 중립 전략이어도 100% 안전하진 않아요. Because everyone saw what happened with the Frankium strategy. They're also employing some kind of delta neutral strategy, right? But this is pseudo delta neutral, so I don't know exactly the technicals of how this strategy differs from delta's strategy here, right? 이거 pseudo 뜻은 완전 delta neutral 아니고 그냥 거의 델타 뉴트럴이라고 해석할 수 있어. 그래서 뭐 정확히 저는 이제 코딩 같은 거 이제 코드는 안 봤으니까 전 코딩 뭐 경험 많이는 없어서 뭐 정확한 무슨 차이인지는 잘 모르겠어요. 근데 아무튼 이것도 약간 비슷한 이제 전략 그냥 보여주는 거예요. So obviously I haven't looked into the code. I don't know if these are open source. So I've never compared the actual code with these different protocols, but I'm just letting my subscribers know that there's always going to be risks involved. So you got to always do your own research. 항상 자기 따로 공부 많이 해야 돼요. With that being said, 이제 그 말씀 끝났으니까 다음 부분으로 내려갈게요. So we'll go to the next part. Move down here and we'll check this out, the delta flow. So I guess this is explaining like how it works. 청사진 같은 거예요, 한마디로. So we'll just go through each of these steps. 이제 여기 단계를 다 하나씩 보겠습니다. So it says the first step here is deposit USDC into Delta Treasury and receive a proportional amount of Delta tokens, right? 여기 따로 금고 같은 거 있고 여기 금고에 USDC 자기 자산을 이제 입금하는 거야. So this part I actually did try this. I did try this out, right? So 여기 그 실제 여기 어플에 여기 들어갈 수 있어. So I did try this out. I connected my Solid. 여기 Solid 연결하고 여기 들어가면 이렇게 할 수 있어. So you just do this, connect your Solid, and then you can see this homepage here. 여기 홈페이지 같은 거 떠요. 여기 자기 그 농사하는 거 여기 다 나와요. 그래서 여기 이제 약간 그 overview 하나 있고 예, 가치가 있어요. 여기 가치가 있어요. 그래서 여기 이자 농사로 가면 이거 할 수 있어요. 이거 deposit 이제 USDC deposit 입금할 수 있고. So I guess you can't actually deposit your money here. So I was tinkering around with this before the broadcast this morning just to see how it works, and then I realized, right? I try to put in my coins here. 여기 저희 코인 입금하려고 했는데 여기 이거 민팅 했었을 때 저는 그 whitelist 안 돼서 이거 제가 민팅을 못 했어요. So I haven't been whitelisted yet, so I can't show you it now on the live broadcast, but I will do another broadcast when I can do it, right? So beta is only available for select users. Join the waitlist. 그래서 제가 waitlist 그 가입했어요. So I did join the waitlist. And I tweeted this out here, right? So hopefully I can test this out during a different broadcast. 다음 방송에 제가 이거 한번 실험해보고 싶어요, right? But I guess this is where you can do it, right? Where you do the mint, right? 그래서 이 델타 토큰이 받을 거예요. 다음 단계는 hold. 그래서 이거 그냥 보유하는 거예요. 아무것도 안 해요. 델타 뉴트럴 같은 전략은 그냥 아무것도 안 해요. Right? Uh, I guess the protocol will it's kind of automated. All you do is put your tokens in there and then let the protocol do its work. 이제 약간 자동 전략 같은 거니까 뭐 따로 뭐 관리하는 거 없어요. Delta protocol generates yield through delta neutral yield farming. 이제 델타 측립 그 이자 농사하면서 여기 그 금고가 이제 커지는 거예요. So treasury grows obviously through these delta neutral yield farming strategies, right? And so here's the big difference between, right? If I had to point out what kind of big difference that Delta One has compared to its competitors, 이제 프랭kiem 같은 경쟁자랑 Delta One 프로토콜 같은 거 이제 무슨 차이 정확한 무슨 차이 궁금하면 여기에 떠요. 여기 홈페이지에. The insurance fund ensures the treasury never goes down. 이게 보험된 프로토콜입니다. 프로토 보험된 프로토콜입니다. So there it's fully insured, right? It's an insured delta neutral protocol, right? I don't know if Frankiem is insured, right? 얘네들도 보험된인지 잘 모르겠어, but I don't think it is, right? So Delta One is insured, right? And it's the first. They say that they are the first insured protocol, delta neutral protocol, yield farming protocol on Solana, right? So that's what it says on their Twitter. All right, you can see it here. DeFi's first fully insured delta neutral farming products, right? 이거 전체 DeFi 시장에 포함된 프로토콜입니다. So they say that they're DeFi's first fully insured protocol. I guess I'll just take their word for it. 그냥 믿을게요, right? 일단은 그냥 믿을게요. So that's the main difference, right? For the people who are new to Solana and they want to know what kind of competitors there might be to Delta One, that to me, I guess on is one of the main differences with competing protocols like Frankium, right? These guys are not insured. These guys are insured, right? 여긴 보험돼 있고 이런 프로토콜 같은 건 보험돼 있지 않아, right? So I guess this is one of their selling points for future investors. 나중에 future investors, right? 나중에 이런 프로토콜 이제 투자하고 싶으면 무슨 차이 여기 여러 가지 프로토콜들 중에 경쟁자들 중에 이제 어떤 차이가 있는지 알아야 되니까 이런 차이가 있긴 있어요. Right? So this is the difference between probably Delta One and any competitors to Delta One. 이제 Delta One 경쟁자는 이런 거 없어요. Probably won't be any fully insured competitors to Delta One, right? So that is interesting that they came out and they grabbed that first mover advantage. 이게 first mover advantage 이미 그 자리를 잡았어요. So congratulations to you guys over at Delta One, right? Delta One 개발자 팀한테 축하드립니다. 그 자리를 잡아서, right? Congratulations on being the first guys to do this, right? 첫 번째로 했으니까 축하합니다, right? Congratulations, you guys over there, right? All right, so we'll continue to look at the at how it works. 이제 다시 여기로 갈게요. Redeem 이제 마지막 단계예요. So the last step 교환입니다. 교환. Exchange Delta tokens back for your share of the treasury, which represent a greater value than when you start. 이제 yield 이제 그 이자 농사 덕분에 이 금고가 이제 커지면서 이제 자기 자산도 이제 똑같이 커지는 거니까 이제 나중에 이제 자기 자산을 빼고 싶을 때 이거 이제 교환할 수 있어요. 교환할 수 있어. So after I guess depending on uh, how much you put in, it's going to be a function of how much you put in and then how much the strategy generate or what the strategy generates. It says over 1% APR a day. 이제 정확히 얼마나 수익이 이제 들어올 건지 궁금하면 하루에 한 1% 정도 돼요. 1% 정도 돼요. So I guess this is the right again. It's not guaranteeing some kind of insane returns on your investment. 분명히 말할게요, 구독자들한테. 얘네들 약속하는 건 뭐 100% 이자, 뭐 200%, 300% 그런 미친 이자는 약속하는 거 아니고 그냥 되게 안전한 하루에 한 1% 정도 APR라고 이제 광고하는 거예요. 대신 엄청 안전해요. 또다시 말씀할게요. 이자가 막 미친 이자는 아니지만 안전하게 돈 벌 수 있어. 그게 이제 다 한마디로 그게 이제 selling point이다. 유리한 점이다. So again, they're not promising some kind of crazy returns, but it's definitely better than holding your assets and doing nothing with them if you just plan on just holding them. 물론 이제 그냥 보유할 생각만 있으면 이런 데에서 이제 투자하면서 돈 버는 거 엄청 안전합니다. 엄청 안전합니다. Especially compared to other kinds of yield farming strategies, right? 다른 기본 그 이자 농사하면 비영구정식 손실 비영구직 손실이 있으니까. So the reason why this is much less riskier than other yield farming strategies is that there's no risk of impermanent loss, right? 이 IL 그 리스크가 없어요. 비영구적 비영구직 손실이 없어. 아침이니까 말도 못하네요 오늘. So early in the morning, I can't even speak properly, right? So there's no risk of IL. So that's the interesting thing about any kind of delta neutral strategy, right? So this is what they're advertising. So again, in my opinion, if you plan on just holding your assets and doing nothing with them for extended periods of time, these are the kinds of protocols that you want to be keeping them in, right? 이런 프로토콜에 자기 자산 이제 입금하면 이제 유리하는 거예요, 한마디로, right? There's no risk of IL, right? 이게 비영구직 손실이 없어. So, I mean, that's the basic concept, right? 그게 이제 기본 개념이야, right? 기본 개념이야, right? So, this is a very attractive proposal, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm interested in these guys just for that alone, and I'm covering them due to reasons I've already mentioned. 제가 얘네들 커버하는 이유 뭐 여러 가지 있고. So I did even go into a little bit more detail into their Medium article. So 얘네들 서류 같은 것까지도 다 공부했어. So I'll just be briefly going over some of the stuff over here, the relevant information here. 여기 중요한 부분 커버할게요. Um, we provide a suite of strategies that vary in risk reward positions, completely insured. 오케이. 그럼 여러 가지 있을 거네요. 여러 가지 있을 거네요. 이 100% 보험된 전략 같은 거는 거의 리스크가 없어요. 거의 리스크가 없어. 그냥 한마디로. 그냥 99.9% 안전해요. 근데 조금 더 그 리스크 큰 전략이 있긴 있을 거네요. So I guess they will have some kind of riskier strategies. They will have riskier strategies because I guess they're gonna have some leverage strategies. 이 leverage 전략도 있을까 봐요. 있을 것 같아요. Right? So I guess this does kind of make them direct competitors to guys like Tulip. 약간 Tulip이랑 조금 겹치고 Frankium 겹칠 거예요, right? In virtue of this information here, if they're going to offer leverage farming, right? If they're going to offer leverage farming, obviously they're going to be competing with guys like Tulip and Frankium, right? So those are kind of competitors that you should look out for if you're new to Solana. Solana 초보들 궁금하면 경쟁자 궁금하면 비슷한 leverage yield farming protocol이 있어. So Tulip does some leverage yield farming as well, right? So you can see if you go to Tulip 같은 경우는 여기 들어가면 leverage farm 있어요 여기 leverage farm. So you can see they do have leverage farming here on Tulip, right? And this is one of the more established leverage farming protocols on Solana, right? So these dudes obviously they've got their eyes on competing protocols like Tulip and Frankium, right? So it's an extremely competitive space. 되게 경쟁적 종류별이야 한마디로, right? Just Solana DeFi, keeping up with all the competition in Solana DeFi, it's like it's just insane. 시간이 너무 많이 투자해요. 이런 경쟁자들 뭐뭐 있는지 뭐 공부해야 되고 항상 트래킹해야 되고 진짜 그 시간을 투자 많이 해야 돼요. Like if you want to invest in Solana, like you've got to spend this kind of time, like hours and hours, like doing a lot of research. 공부 많이 해야 돼요. 공부 많이 해야 돼요. Right. So that's what I love to do on my channel. I just do all my research out here in the open on my channel. right? For my investors. 우리 투자자들 위해 제가 다 여기 우리 채널에 다 이런 거 공부 다 해요, 같이. Right? So let's continue here. 계속 볼게요. 로드맵으로 갈게요. 첫 번째 첫 번째 버전 나오네요. So version 1 strategies based on stables composed on top of Saber. Okay, so I guess they're using the Saber pool. Saber pool 사용하나 봐요, 여기. Delta stablecoin suite, a set of Delta neutral stablecoins on Solana that allow Delta users to realize their farming profits without any fees. Okay, so this is the interesting thing here, right? Delta neutral stable coins. So they'll be using stable coins on their protocol, right? 여기 stable coins 사용할 거예요. So they'll be going with stable coins, right? So I guess there'll be some stable coins. I do remember seeing some stable coins here. 여기 stable coin 있긴 있어. USDC stable coin 있어 여기. So I guess they'll be using stable coins to achieve their yields, right? 이게 그 이자 하면서 이 스테이블 코인 사용하면서 이자 볼 수 있나 봐요, 여기. So go to version 2. Fully insured yield farming strategy. 이건 커버했고 여기 그 보험된 전략 같은 거. 두 번째 볼게요. 이것도 봤어. Well, so I guess this is the leverage farming aspect of it, right? 여기 그 leverage farming 있나 봐요, 여기. 이 여기까지는 뭐 자세히까지 볼 필요 없고 왜냐면 여기 이제 가장 중요한 부분이고. So I'm just gonna cover the important bits. I'm not gonna go read every single thing here, right? Just gonna go through these and cover the important parts, right? Um, okay, so I already covered this. 비영구직 손실 없이 risk 없이 그런 전략이라고 뭐 그런 설명이고. tokens evolves 얘네들 이제 토ken 어떤 토ken 있을 건지 이거 자기 자산 입금하면서 어떤 토ken 사용할 건지 여기 다 나와요. So I guess these are the tokens that you'll be getting when you deposit your assets into the protocol. 여기 프로토콜에 자기 자산 입금할 때 TOK, DTOK, and SDTOK. Self Delta token 나올 것 같아요 여기. This is empty. There's no stablecoin suite listed here yet. 여기 stablecoin은 없고. You can invest into the products. Oh, okay. So I guess they have the products here. 여기 그 나오네요. So I guess these are the stablecoins involved. USDC, USDT, and cash. 여기 세 가지 다. I don't know exactly what cash is. I'll just assume this is a stablecoin. 전 cash 정확히 뭔지 모르니까 stablecoin으로 이제 알고 있어. And then here, right? Radium, Solana, Orca. 이런 것도 있나 봐요. 여기에. 여기에 입금할 수 있고. Okay, so this is the thing that I tried to do on the live broadcast, but I wasn't able to do it. 제가 여기 입금하려고 했는데 못한 부분이 여기이네요. 여기. So I guess this is the part that I wasn't able to do live, right? And then here's some kind of like blueprint of how it works. Yeah, 청사진 같은 거 있네요. But I mean, this is stuff that I've already covered the basic concept, so just gonna move on. 이 기본 개념은 제가 이미 커버했으니까 넘어갈게요. Divest from strategy. 이건 이제 자기 자산 빼고 싶을 때. So I guess this is when you can withdraw, right? It allows you to withdraw your investment instantly at any time. 언제든지 자기 자산을 뺄 수 있어. So I guess you can withdraw anytime here, right? Yield farming. My subscribers already know what yield farming is. So I'll just move on from this. 이거 넘어갈게요. 우리 구독자들은 yield farming 이거 이자 농사 기본 개념 다 알고 있으니까 이거 넘어갈게요. Go to delta neutral. Okay, 이것도 너무 기본 개념이니까 넘어갈게요. So this is obviously the concept. I think everyone knows this. Support 여기로 넘어갈게요. I'm not going to cover this stuff. This is just basic DeFi stuff. Yeah, 기본 DeFi 단어들이니까 이거 그냥 넘어갈게요. So we'll look at this and then we'll finish. 여기 보고 끝날게요. 어떤 풀 사용할 건지 나와요. So I guess they'll be using the Saber and Orca pools, USDC, USDT. 이 풀 사용할 거고 USDC Cash 사용할 거고 Orca USDC, Ray Soul, Ray USDC, Orca Soul, Soul USDT, and Soul USDC. Okay. So I guess these are the pools that they'll be using. 여기 풀이 나오나 봐요, 여기. Swap withdrawal fees from Saber and Orca apply when Delta rebalances, initiates, and withdraws its position. 수수료가 있긴 있을 거네요. So there will be fees involved. There will be some fees taken, I guess, by the protocol. 이 Delta One protocol이 수수료 이제 있을 거네요, 여기에. So I guess there will be fees involved, right? There will be fees. Fees are taken from yield generated on compounding when the strategy runs. 이제 이 전략 진행 되면서 여기 진행되면서 여기 전략들 이제 진행되면서 이 여기에 they have a Samoyed coin pool here. They have a Samoyed coin pool. That's funny. 이거 Samoyed coin pool도 있네요, 여기. Um Fees are taken from yield generated. Fees are subject to change in the future based on the needs of the platform. Okay, so I guess this is actually pretty important. There will be fees involved with these strategies. 물론 여기 그 전략이 다 이제 수수료 있을 거예요. 다 수수료 있을 거야. So I guess there will be fees. I guess you have to test it out to see exactly what the fees will be, right? 이거 실제 이거 실험해봐야 수수료 얼마나 나오는지 알 수 있을 것 같아서, right? I don't think you can actually see what the fees will be uh, unless you actually unless you try it out. I guess that's when you'll see like what the fees involved would be for redeeming when you redeem here. 이제 이거 나중에 이거 교환할 때 아마 여기에 뭐 수수료가 표시돼 있을 거야 아마도, right? So if you look at the Katana vaults, they show the fees on the Katana strategies, right? On the strategies on Katana. Katana 같은 경우에 이거 여기에 자기 자산을 입금할 때, so when you put your assets into Katana, they do show you the fees, right? 여기 vault. So I am in this covered call strategy here. 제가 여기 자산 여기 입금했는데 oh shit, hold on, why is this not working? Here. So Katana's fees were like it was like no, they said that there's no they said that there's no fees. I remember they updated it. They said there's no fees. Okay. Katana, I do remember it. They used to have fees, and then they made this crazy announcement where there are no fees. There used to be like a fee thing here. 여기 옛날에 이거 totally forgot about that. 옛날엔 이거 카타나 전략에 수수료가 있었는데 최근에 여기 카타나 전략에 수수료 없다고 발표했어. So they did recently announce that there's no fees with their strategies, right? And then I even tweeted about that shit. I had a total brain fart here. 완전 깜빡 잊었어. I even tweeted about this shit because this was crazy, right? Katana has no fees. Katana 같은 경우는 수수료가 없어. But obviously these are like much riskier strategies. 수수료 없이 대신 리스크가 훨씬 더 커요. So I mean it's all like a risk reward calculation. 이거 리스크하고 보상 같은 거 똑같이 이제 같이 계산해야 되니까. So they're saying no fees to attract more liquidity. 물론 물론, yeah. So you have to view it from Katana's perspective. Like, why are they coming out with this kind of crazy shit? 얘네들이 이런 미친 수수료 안 받는다. 왜 이런 발표했는지 생각해봐야 돼요. Obviously, they want to attract as much liquidity to their vaults as possible. 물론 얘네들 vault에 가장 많이 이제 자산 입금했으면 좋겠으니까 유동성 필요하니까 이런 거 이제 혜택 같은 거 있는 거예요. So they're offering this benefit, but the risks are much higher than a protocol like Delta One, right? So that's the flip side, right? So 바 반대로 반대로 이제 이런 건 리스크가 거의 없어. Obviously, at least, uh, you're not gonna be making this maybe the same kinds of gains on some of these, strategies in the future. 물론 여기 프로는 조금 더 높지만 리스크가 그만큼 더 커요. So obviously, I guess Katana's making a play like that because they kind of have to, right? 얘네들은 어쩔 수 없이 그런 거 해야 돼요 because they know they've got competition from Friction and other guys, right? 얘네들도 경쟁자 있는 거 알고 있어. So the Katana team knows they're directly competing with Friction right now. That they're not stupid, right? Katana 개발자 팀들이 잘 알아, right? So I don't know what the fees are. I guess I have to just wait and test it out to see exactly what the fees are. 정확한 수수료 뭐 저는 잘 모르겠어요. But I guess you should know there will be fees, right? They're saying there will be fees, right? 수수료 있긴 있을 거예요. There's no fees like listed here. 뭐 수수료는 여기 나오고 안 나오고. But I think that's the basic deal with Delta One. 이게 개발 뭐지 그 기본 개념인 것 같아요. So I was happy to cover you guys, Delta One team. If you guys ever see this later, 나중에 Delta One 개발자 팀이 이거 나중에 보면, it was my honor, right? I had a lot of fun covering you guys. Let me quickly go over some of these questions. 이제 자주 하는 질문 잠깐 보고 끝날게요. So we'll end the coverage of Delta One after I look at some of these FAQ questions. We'll skip this. Will APY decrease over time? The yield may go down as liquidity increases. 이제 유동성이 들어오면서 그 수익이 조금 줄일 거예요. 줄일 거예요. This project works on all altcoin stablecoin pairs, and new altcoins will continue to come with juicy yields. So I guess obviously this is just like you can't do anything with these anything that's when it comes to liquidity mining and yield farming 이제 다 이제 전체적으로 이거 그 이자 농사 같은 전략은 이거 유동성이 들어오면서 프로가 이제 줄여요. I've said this to my subscribers so many goddamn times. All right, I've said this so many goddamn times. The disadvantage of yield farming, right, in DeFi is that it's a dying. The upside is there's always going to be like a ceiling to the yields that you can make, right? 항상 한계가 있을 거예요. Because as more liquidity comes into these protocols, your yield will go down, right? And I've said this so many times, right? I've said this so many times to my subscribers. My subscribers already know this. It's something that I've been keeping a very close eye on, right? As an investor in DeFi and protocols that I recommend to my subscribers. 우리 구독자들한테 제가 이거 공식 저의 개인 공식 전략 그 투자 진짜 100번 말했어요. 100번 말했어. 여기 이자가 losers game이라고 100번 말했어. Right? Yield farming is a losing strategy in the long term. 이제 시간 지나도록 the returns you get from this category, the returns that you get from yield farming, there's going to be a limit. It's like in the long run, it's a losing strategy. 이제 긴 시간으로 보면 이거 이제 이자 농사 같은 거는 이제 곧 죽을 거예요. 곧 죽을 거예요, right? In the long run, yield farming is not going to be like such a viable strategy because it's going to become too easy for people to for people to get access to liquidity with automated strategies and shit, right? 이제 자동 전략 같은 거 너무 빨리 개발 중이니까, right? You've got to look to other places to maximize your returns, right? 다른 종류별에 이제 봐야 돼요. Solana DeFi 투자하고 싶으면, right? So my subscribers they have full awareness of this fact, right? 우리 구독자들은 이거 100% 알고 있어. I was very clear about the future of DeFi and where it's heading, right? And where you can actually get maximum returns on your investments. 이제 가장 많이 이제 수익 벌고 싶으면 이제 미래를 보면서 생각해야 돼요. You got to look at the future when you're investing in these protocols, right? 이제 Solana DeFi protocol 이제 투자하면서 미래를 생각하면서 투자하세요, 제발, right? Look at the future when you invest, right? You got to like knowing what's going on. 시장 알아야 돼요, right? Is your code open source? Okay, so this is a pretty important thing here. 되게 중요한 질문이에요. All smart contracts are yet to be audited. 지금 검토 중이니까 검토는 아직 다 안 끝나서 so those are still closed. Okay, so it's not open source. open source는 아니에요. 코드는 공개 안 했어요. 코드는 공개 안 했어요. Has the protocol been audited? 검토 받았는지는 검토 안 받았고, all code will be audited before the public launch. 이제 출시하기 전에는 검토 받는다고 어, 해요. But I mean, if they're saying that they're fully insured, of course they've got to be audited. They've got to be audited 100%, right? If they're saying they're fully insured, right? 얘네들 말씀이 이제 100% 보험돼 있다고 하면 물론 받긴 받아야 돼요. 이거 메인넷 출시하기 전에. So obviously before they launch, they've got to be audited, right? So I don't know if they're going to release their code after their audit. 이제 그 검토 후에 얘네들 코드 공개할 건지는 잘 모르겠지만 I guess they will after their audit. 이제 그 검토 끝나고 maybe they'll release their code. 뭐 검토 후 이제 코드 공개 할 수 있을 것 같아요. 그건 이제 검토 후. I guess after their audit, right? Okay. So that's Delta 1. There you go. Delta 1. Delta 1 이제 커버했어. So I guess that's it for these guys. I guess I'll be keeping an eye on these guys, right? And just seeing what happens. Let's see what other announcements they've made. 다른 발표 뭐뭐 했는지 볼게요. Let's see. Oh, they already have Delta 1 swag. Delta 1 물건 벌써 만들었네요. I want one of these sweaters. Hook me up with one of these sweaters. I want a Christmas Delta 1 sweater. I want one of these sweaters. 저도 이거 받았으면 좋겠어. I love this shit. I love getting Solana merch, right? 저는 Solana 물건 받는 거 너무 좋아요, right? Let's see. Oh, okay, so I guess they do have people making videos for them. I don't know if they're making videos for them on YouTube though, right? YouTube 동영상 뭐 만들었나 봐 이미. But I don't know if they're getting YouTube coverage yet. 뭐 유튜버들이 얘네들 커버해 주는지 잘 모르겠어. I'm like 99% confident like I am the first guys to cover first YouTuber to cover these guys, right? Oh no, they're not. These guys did it. Okay. Shout out congratulations to Alpha Only for getting it out there before me. 얘네들이 이미 했네요, YouTube에. But my subscribers are like 80% Korean, so now you have some more exposure to the Korean investors. So hopefully I contributed a little bit. 우리 한국인 투자자들이니까 거의 우리 구독자들은 so 구독자들이 좋은 정보 많이 얻었으면 좋겠어요, right? Hopefully some Korean people got some exposure to you guys, right? Hopefully. Okay, so I guess their tweets are they don't have that many tweets. 이 프로젝트는 진짜 초반이니까 뭐 트윗도 별로 없어. So they don't even have that many tweets because they're such a new project, right? All right, so that's it for Delta One. 이제 Delta One 커버 끝났습니다. Delta One 커버 끝났으니까 끝났습니다, right? So there you go. There you have it, Delta One. There you go. So I'll be closing all this stuff here. We'll just briefly go over some Solana news. Solana 소식 조금 보고 끝날게요. We'll go over some Solana stuff and then we'll finish. Let me see what's going on. 요즘 무슨 소식이 있는지 보고 끝날게요. 불안왕님, 오늘 크리스마스 잘 보내고 있어? I hope everyone's having a very nice Christmas. 음. Yearn Finance is in the news. 요즘에 Yearn Finance가 요즘 많이 나오네 요즘. 음. Okay, I don't think there's much going on. Christmas이니까 I think it's Christmas. There's no real huge announcements or anything, I think, right? Everyone's just spending time with their family. 다 이제 크리스마스니까 가족이랑 보내고 뭐 큰 소식 같은 거 없어. Yeah, I don't think there's anything huge going on in Solana news. Solana 소식 뭐 그렇게 큰 건 없는 것 같아서 지금 크리스마스니까 다들 쉬고 있어서 everyone's resting. So uh except me, I'm still broadcasting on Christmas. 저희 같은 경우는 크리스마스에서도 방송해요. Right? I've got nothing better to do though. So obviously I'm just I'm just having fun, right? 저희 같은 경우는 뭐 다른 뭐 할 거 없으니까 크리스마스에 방송하고 뭐 재밌게 그냥 시간 보내는 거 구독자들이랑. Uh, actually do want to update my subscribers on the Korean Solana challenge, right? So Solana 도전 지금 업데이트 해줄게요. So if you want to know how the Solana challenge portfolio is doing, Solana challenge portfolio 궁금하면 Solana is it's got a pretty good lead over Bitcoin since I started this challenge. 이제 도전 시작할 때부터 지금까지 Solana가 물론 수익이 더 높아요. 수익이 더 높아요, right? So it's not like a huge lead or anything, but it is clearly in the lead here. 뭐 정확히 지금 Solana가 지금 이기고 있어요, 지금, right? So if again, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, 이제 지금 보는 분들 무슨 말인지 이거 뭔지 궁금하면 if you have no idea what I'm talking about, so I've been YouTube. I'm the first Solana YouTuber, right? I'm the first Solana YouTuber, and recently, right, a couple days ago on my live broadcast, I challenged the top Korean YouTubers. Um, I challenged the top Korean YouTubers, right? In terms of the coins that they've been shilling since I started YouTubing versus when they started YouTubing, right? So I looked at all their coins that they were shilling when I started my channel, right? 저희 채널 시작했었을 때 한국인 탑 크립토 유튜버들 이제 걔네들 홍보해주는 코인들 다 하나씩 하나씩 보고 똑같이 구매했어요. So what happened? This is hilarious, right? If you're new to this challenge, 이 도전 모르시는 분들 계시면 I challenge these supposed Korean YouTube experts. 얘네들 얼마나 크립토를 잘 아는지 고수들이라고 막 표현하지만 so they're like these huge crypto names in the Korean crypto YouTube scene, and so I challenged them and I bought all their coins. It turns out they were all shilling Bitcoin when I was shilling Solana, right? I looked at all their old videos back in April, right? When I started YouTubing. 제가 4월에 유튜브 시작했었을 때, Solana 이제 홍보해줬을 때, uh, Solana Korea 시장 키웠었을 때, so when I started building the Solana Korea community, these dudes were all shilling Bitcoin. It turns out, right? It turns out all these jokers, 이 웃기는 놈들이 they were all shilling Bitcoin. They were all shilling Bitcoin when I was shilling Solana, right? 제가 Solana 홍보해줬을 때 얘네들이 다 Bitcoin을 홍보해주고 있었어. So these dudes were all shilling Bitcoin, and so I made a portfolio to challenge the kinds of coins that they were shilling. 얘네들 웃기는 진짜 개웃기는 놈들이 Bitcoin 이제 홍보해주는 코인을 portfolio 만들었어. And I made it a 50-50 split. These jokers, right? 이 웃기는 놈들 비트코인 엄청 홍보해주는 비트코인을 제가 솔라나가 얼마나 더 좋은 기회이라고 이제 보여주고 싶어서 이거 포트폴리오 하나 만들었어. 똑같이 50-50으로 나눴어요. So it turns out they were all shilling Bitcoin, right? Every single one of them. So I made a portfolio equal parts Bitcoin and equal parts Solana to represent how an average investor, an average Korean investor should or what the average Korean investor should expect if they invest in these coins. 이제 목적은 한국인 일반인 투자자들이 이제 크립토에 투자하면서 얼마나 돈 벌 수 있는지 이제 보여주고 싶어서 이제 이거 도전 시작한 거예요. Right? So after about another week, I'll be coming back and seeing what happens. Right? On New Year's 이제 설날에 이거 포트폴리오 어떻게 되는지 이제 같이 볼 거고 on the live broadcast I'll be seeing what this portfolio looks like on New Year's. 이제 설날에 이 포트폴리오 어떻게 되는지 이제 다 같이 볼 거예요. Right? So far it's looking pretty good for Solana. Right? 뭐 지금은 Solana가 훨씬 더 높아요 지금. Right? So the Solana uh, Solana is doing better than Bitcoin right now. Right? For the duration of the challenge so far. It's only been a couple days. 뭐 며칠밖에 안 됐지만 Solana가 훨씬 더 지금 잘 되고 있어. Right? So this is going to be a very fun thing to keep up with. So I just wanted to update my subscribers. 우리 구독자들이 얼마나 잘 되는지 궁금하면 여기 이제 나와요. Right? 519불, 여기는 532불. Right? So it's Solana is still ahead a little bit. Right? So that's pretty funny to see. Right? 웃기네요. 그거 보니까. Right? All right. All right. I think that's it. There's no questions. 뭐 다른 질문은 없으니까. So keep an eye on Delta One. I guess I'll be tracking these guys in a little bit more detail. Delta One 제가 조금 더 집중적으로 볼 거예요 아마도. Right? Just seeing what kind of announcements they make. 얘네들이 그 나중에 어떤 발표하는지 보면서 체킹할게요. So I'll be keeping an eye on these guys and seeing what kind of announcements that they make, right? 무슨 발표하는지 보고 있을 거예요, right? All right, so it's not a question heavy day today. 뭐 질문은 많이 없으니까 we'll just finish it early today. It's Christmas. Everyone needs some rest, right? 다 Christmas이니까 다 잘 쉬고 I'll see you guys during the next live broadcast. 다음 방송에 봬요, right? So I will see you guys next time. Have a great Christmas, and I'll see you guys next time. 다음에 봬요. Have a great Christmas, everyone. See you guys next time. 다음에 봬요.